Cindy, and I'm codependent. And I made a lot of notes, but we're just going to pray that whatever I say, maybe you can use it in some sort of manner. I grew up with a really abusive background. My mother felt like me being born was the cause of every trouble that she has ever had and still ever has in her life. And if I hadn't been born, those things wouldn't have happened to her. And so that was a lot to go through and still go through. My mother's still living and still saying the same things. But she went through a lot of men over the years, and she gave me to one of my stepfathers, and she left. After a year maybe, I ran away. I said, I can't do it anymore. And went to my mother's house, found where she was, and she said, you can't stay here. Jimmy don't want no kids. So here I am, I'm homeless at 14. And she called my dad, and I had never met him, so get to see my natural father, and she said, hey, if you want her, come get her. She can't go back now. She's already done all this stuff. And so he came and picked me up, and his wife said, she is not living in my house. So here I am, totally out there. So I have this terrible fear of abandonment and not being accepted, not being wanted, not being loved, and I'm definitely overachiever. I mean, you gotta love me. I gotta be perfect, because you can't possibly throw me away. And so over the years, I have struggled with it. I dropped out of high school. I got married at 16, and I got married to a seriously addicted, abusive husband. And I got divorced after 5 years, and I remarried. Now I have 6 children myself, and my oldest will be 40 next week. So I have a 40, 37, 35, 33, 31, and 29-year-old. And so I have filled my life with codependency, and I just have filled my whole world with everybody needs me. I have children who need me. I have grandchildren who need me. I have a husband who needs me. And I have had the best life until, after being married for 35 years, my husband left. And my kids didn't want to talk to me because they didn't want to get in the middle of the argument. My friend said, I'm sorry, Cindy, I just can't see you because, we're friends with him too. And so all of a sudden I was rejected in every single social circle that I had ever been in. My children had rejected me. I'm alone. I have no income. And I collapsed. And that was about 4 years ago. And I pretty much stayed in that pit for maybe 3 years because now I'm coming out of it. I'm doing better now. But that's really thanks to you guys, because being involved in CoDA has made such a difference in my life, to be accepted and to not be rejected, not be told, we really don't want you here. But one of the things that I went through, one of the things that I did when I started actually recovering, I had panic attacks. I had CoDA crazies, spirals. I'm not going to make it. It's not even worth trying. I can't do this. And so I came up with a rescue plan. I took my P-Touch labeler, got one of those labelers, and I put in there rescue, and on mine I put meds, food, music, so. And I put those little labels all over my house. So when I started to collapse and I started to spiral down, I could go open a cabinet and it would remind me that I probably didn't take my meds. It's one thing, because if you miss your meds, you kind of messed up. Second, I can go days without eating because I just don't. I just don't think about it. And so that reminds me, you haven't eaten, get some food, have some water, do something. The third one is, on mine, is music, because, I mean, how much can you spiral when you're listening to happy? So you just turn on something and move. Get up out of the chair, do some movement. And then the fourth thing, which is more long-term, which is not a 5-minute fix, but to work on a hobby. I love to sew. I quilt and I sew. But anybody can do that. You can set up your own rescue. And I want to read you some of the things that I wrote on here that you could put as one of your 4 things to capture yourself before you go into the CoDA crazies. I've heard a lot of good things this weekend. The essential oils, that's an awesome thing. Go play with your dog, meditate. Well, obviously Amy's pause, that's going to be a really good thing. Because mine are all more physical, stepping forward, making some physical changes, getting up, changing my body. I have a whole page full. You can crochet, take deep breaths, and blow bubbles. Blowing bubbles has been a good thing for me with the therapist. They're like, okay, take a deep breath, and then blow the bubbles all over the place. Having a smoke break, even if you don't smoke, it's good to just go, okay, I need a smoke break. Walk outside for 5 minutes and sit in a chair by yourself without anybody. I'm having a smoke break. And Jancy Dunn talked about an 8-minute phone call. And for a long time, I didn't feel like I had anybody that I could even talk 8 minutes to. But now I really think that I do. If you talk to someone for 8 minutes, that's all it takes, you can save their life. You can help them. They can step out of the funk they're in by just giving you 8 minutes. And instead of saying, hey, you want to get together? You want to go eat? You want to go do something with me? You could just text your friend and say, I really need 8 minutes. And that is just a code that you are falling down and you need somebody to grab your hand before you drown. And so I recommend that you make your own list, have your own plan. Don't let yourself get down into the pit so deep that you don't even know what to do, that all you can see is darkness. And find the light, find the joy, and embrace the good life that I hope one day to have again. I hope one day to not feel like I'm living in a pit. And this has been such a great weekend. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. My time's up.